Alright. Okay. Kirby time. So, I recently had this idea that I'm gonna start streaming the Kirby games, because out of nowhere I seem to have found this Kirby autism. I think at some point after I've ordered like 6 of the plush toys, and both of the Nendoroids, the regular Kirby and the blue one, not to mention having the Robobot Swoot on pre-order, I think I might like Kirby. So, well, that's because I'm going in order sync. So yeah, I am going to try to stream all of the Kirby games in order to the best of my ability. I am a giant retard who does not have a capture box, so any of the console games I won't be able to play. I am upgrading my computer soon. I'm going from a mid-range tower to a full-blown fucking monolith. So I plan on getting that internal Elgato card. So I'll be able to do like Shart allies and maybe even like dig out... Well, no, there's always Dolphin for Kirby's Air Ride. So this is Kirby's Dream Land. It's the original. Kirby wasn't his glorious pink yet, and he couldn't eat enemies for powers. You can do a cheat code to make the game harder, but I'm going to play the games just in one go how they are. I think with the exception of the Dark Matter trilogy, I'm probably not going to 100% them. This is also kind of a low-key test stream for my controller. A couple months ago, I bought a Wii U control pad, like, adapter thing that lets you hook up Wii U Pro controllers to your computer. So I'm using my fancy Hyperkin GameCube one. So if anything goes wrong, expect me to blame the controller, because this D-pad is ass. The buttons are nice, though. I like when my buttons are clicky. So in this game, you actually have to kind of get creative with your Sukin, just because there's no powers. It's also the asshole kind of Kirby game where you have to tap up and jump to float. I'm also learning the fun way you can't fucking dash. I kind of like how derpy Kirby's sprite looks. It's like that ugly as hell plush toy. So my experience with the Kirby series is actually kind of recent. My first Kirby game was the Kirby's Avalanche on the SNES, believe it or not. My dad was really huge into puzzle games, and basically this is how my dad always bought consoles. He was cheap, which didn't make any sense because he worked at GM, so we were never really hurting for money. But anytime my sisters and I got a new console, it was always either because we got it at the Chinese market that was down the road from our house. So we didn't really have Nintendo consoles, we had the fucking Famiclones. I do think we had a legitimate Super Famicom, but our NES was a borderline Dendy. And, so the first time we got, like, a real Nintendo console, it was the Super Famicom. And he had bought it cheap, and he had also bought cheap games with it, so it came with Killer Instinct, but my dad was really against fighting games, so we weren't even allowed to fucking play the game it came with. And the games that were on clearance at the time were Kirby's Avalanche. I think we also had like one of the Capcom X-Men games. One of these days I'd like to do a stream that's like dumb rabbit childhood games. My dad was a cheap ass, I'm telling you. My whole family is cheap asses. I can tell you the fucking story of how I got my allowance taken away. My dad gave me an allowance. He gave me $20 every weekend, which, when I was like 12, that was fucking awesome. But, yeah, my dad gave me $20 every weekend, and, you know, when you're in between console generations, so I had pre-ordered Wind Waker, and I got that bonus disc back when pre-orders gave a shit, where it was the Ocarina of Time Master Quest disc, and so I pre-ordered Wind Waker, and because I was a fucking kid, I spent my money. So I had bought, I think it was Mega Man X6, which was a punishment of its own. But I had bought Mega Man X6, so when Wind Waker came out, I didn't have the money. So I asked my mom, I was like, hey, you know, can you do me a solid and go pick up Wind Waker for me and I'll pay you back? And my mom didn't trust me to pay her back. So what would happen was, when my dad would come to pick me up for the weekend, my mom would be like, hey, you know, Rabbit owes me money for a game I bought him, so just hand it over. And it's like, that was back before GameStop let you pay on pre-orders. And, so you could literally only put the $5 down and I don't even think it was GameStop yet. I think it was still EB Games. But, you could only put your $5 down and you paid the rest when you picked it up. And that was back before the, you know, the collective gaming industry decided that games should now be 60 instead of 50. And, so what had happened was, my dad basically paid my mom probably 4 or 5 times. And even my dad had caught on to the horse shit of, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure we fucking paid this game off by now. So, my dad was like, that's it, I'm not giving you an allowance anymore. If you want something, just ask me and I'll get it for you. And that was how my spoiled teenage brat years started. My dad only got me twice a month, and I think he bought me a game every time for like the next year. I got some good shit during that time, though. I got Phantasy Star Online back when it had just come out for GameCube. I got Kirby Air Ride, which is fucking cool. Yeah, my history with the Kirby games are mostly spin-offs. I didn't actually play a real fucking Kirby game until, probably the remake, Nightmare in Dreamland. Because I had Kirby's Avalanche, I had Well, no. I did get crystal shards, but then after that, I got Air Ride. And I didn't really own a quote-unquote true, honest, and real Kirby game. Probably until Return to Dreamland. I mean, I went back and emulated them just to see what the hubbub was about, so I did go back and play the Kirby games. Okay, here's a neat thing I wish would come back. The Mint Leaf. Which, as you can see, it lets you shoot puffs. In Japan, it's a sweet potato, because they have that whole thing with, oh, sweet potatoes make you gassy. And I guess America didn't know what sweet potatoes were. I guess. Or at least didn't have the stigma. So in the Americas, it was changed to a mint leaf. And going back to the whole my dad being a cheap-ass thing, we actually did own a lot of obscure consoles that way. Like, I legitimately owned a TurboGrafx. I only had a couple games for it. I had Dungeon Explorer, Bonk's Adventure. Well, shit, I died in a fucking Kirby game. But, yeah, when the Wii came out and the Virtual Console was released, I about shit my pants. Because Dungeon Explorer was a launch game for the Virtual Console. I still remember that. My very first Virtual Console purchase, I can still tell you to this day, it was Gunstar Heroes, Toe Jam and Earl, and Dungeon Explorer. And I swear to God, I talked my friends into Dungeon Explorer because that was when we thought it was the coolest shit that the Wii could do 5 players because of 4 people in the GameCube slots and 1 person on Wiimote. And at the time, my high school friend crew was 5 people deep. So that really worked out in the end. I always played the elf because I thought he looked like Link. I identify with Kirby because he's a little fat boy. And I'm a little fat boy. And we just like to eat and spit things. I feel that's a good character archetype. Also, yes, I am using the Retro Achievements emulators because I am a faggot. And I just figured some of these games, like Mega Man, that I've beaten 500 bazillion trillion jillion times, why not have something to show for it? I mean, the best part of it isn't just playing online, it's showing everyone that I did. Also, I have noise cancellation on, but you may hear my bird screaming in the background. I don't know. If it's a problem, just let me know and I can... Ow! Woo! Woo! Okay, so I have a question. Allegedly the Game Boy had these things where if you held a certain button combination, you know, you could like change the color palette. That never worked for me, and I will fight people on that one. Like, I tried so hard. The only time I could ever make it work was, my first Game Boy was a Super Game Boy, and I used to use the custom color palette thing to, like, make Mega Man actually look like Mega Man. But I have never gotten that thing to work. Oh, let me tell you something about me and the Game Boy screen. I was that asshole kid who hit L and R to widen his screen when I played on Game Boy Advance. Because, when I was a kid, when I had it, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm like, hey, come on, you know, I got all this screen, I want to use it. Like, that was my fucking logic. I have always loved how Kirby just slaps and flops around. Did you see Twitch has a fucking desktop app now? If it wasn't for the fact that, like, I'm genuinely afraid it wouldn't fucking work, I would almost consider it. It's like this weird bastardization of, like, trying to be Skype and Twitch and everything else at the same time. What the hell is going on? Am I, like, touching my past self? Am I creating a time paradox? I really have to hand it to the crazy assholes who play this game with the code. It gives it to you at the end of the game after you beat it, but basically there's a code for crazy sons of bitches who you can adjust the amount of health, lives, boss health, and it's kind of a favorite thing for people to crank Kirby's health all the way down, bosses all the way up, and do 1 life. And I do have Mr. Perfect in Mega Man 9 and 10, and and I still think those people are crazy bitches. Oh, sweet Jesus. Ah! Ah! Do you guys enjoy hurting me? Why? Oh, is this the one with the titties? One of the Dreamland game. I think it's either Dreamland or Kirby's Adventure, but one of them has a level where you like fall down the path, and there's like this really horribly drawn naked woman, like literally just a smiley face, some titties, and a Virginia. If I crouch, you can't get me. You know, my friends and I recently did a playthrough of Shard Allies where we all played Bandana D, but we didn't have a fourth player, so we filled the slot with, we tried to keep it Waddle Dees, so the fourth player slot would either be the Parasol Waddle Dee, or the Beam Waddle Dee, or like the Waddle Doo, and we had this big stupid thing every time. Like, it was, oh, the Parasol Waddle Dee was Bandana's mom made us let his brother come along. And then anytime we had a Beam Waddle Dee, it was like, or the Waddle Doo, it was like, oh, hang on, we got the autistic one with us. Am I right to assume that DDD has never had like a consistent appearance across any game? Like he gets redesigned in every single game? I think the only exception is like Dreamland and Kirby's Adventure because they use the same sprites. And I mean, I know his overall design stays the same, but I mean like, you know, look at him in Kirby Triple Deluxe where he's like super chibi-fied. And then look at him in like Shard Allies where he actually has like a little tiny, like a more proportionate body. God, I wish that were me. Masa Sakurai! Masa Sakurai! Oh, Masa! Oh, Masa, please! And there you go. That's the cheat code. Okay. Give me just a second while I switch over to adventure. Beat it fast enough. Might as well keep them in the same stream. Now this is the one where they introduce the powers and all that. I am not playing this one 100%. I fucking did my time. I would rather not. Oh, Jesus! I have to get used to my NES control setup. Ah! Fuck you. So as you can see, they kind of got lazy and reused the Game Boy sprites, but why not? They're there, they're lying around, why not? Allegedly, there is a HAL room in this area. I'm going to see if I can find it. Right here, actually. There's a hidden HAL room in every Kirby game. And finding them is always the fun part. Hey! Okay, so I had a fucking second. Oh, bull's dicks. Alright. No UFO for me. You know what has always annoyed me about Kirby games? They are so wildly inconsistent with what makes you lose your power. In some games, it's like getting sneezed on makes you lose it. In other games, you gotta really get your shit kicked in. I never actually played this one until it came out on Wii U. I had always played Nightmare in Dreamland as my Kirby one, and I thought, well, I played the remake, I don't need to play the original. And, you know, for those of us fucking absolute brain-dead retards who bought a Wii U at launch, they had a, like, what was it, the Famicom 30th anniversary, where they were selling NES games for 30 cents. And I bought every single one on principle, even bullshit like Yoshi that nobody wants to fucking play. And, Kirby's Adventure was one of the 30-cent games. And I had finally gotten around like, hey, let's play this fucking shit. Cutter is one of my favorite Kirby powers. I really liked its Superstar creation, where not only could you throw the blade, but you could whip the shit out of people with it too. Also, I'm in the minority that thinks Superstar is trash. I can remember when I first got into emulation, where, I was that guy who would go on GameFAQs and be like, hey, what are the top 10 games? And everybody would always constantly blow the dicks of, like, the same 10 games. And what always pissed me off about that is you'd be like, hey, I'm not retarded, I know about Mega Man X and Chrono Trigger, what are the best games? And you'd always get those assholes that are like, just play Mega Man X and Chrono Trigger again. And, I still own all of my Mega Man X cartridges, both American and PAL. And, it cracks me up how, apparently, Mega Man X3 is, like, stupid, fucking retarded, rare and expensive. And it's like, yeah, I got that at a, local mom and pop for, like, 15 bucks with my allowance. That's the best part about being old. No, see, there's nothing inherently wrong with achievements, because it's nice to have a little in-game checklist. The problem is when you get, like, bullshit, stupid achievements that are like, hey, you pressed start! Like, I have genuinely never understood the hate for achievements, because, you know, I would always go back to games anyway and be like, okay, there's got to be something in this game I didn't do, and at least achievements let me keep a, you know, running total of that. Yeah, the ones I'm getting right now that are like, hey, you just got this power, those are fucking stupid. To this day, I don't care about achievements anymore, which is why if you look at any of my profiles, they probably look like a fucking disaster. I know Sync makes fun of me from my PSN profile all the time, because I have a ton of games in there that are just like, hey, look at this PlayStation Plus game that looks mildly interesting. Oh god, it's terrible. Or, what stupid fucking shitty game did Fujo buy, play once, never touch again? Although I will still stand by, some of the shit I've bought, like, Capsule Force. That was pretty cool. Now, I bought Capsule Force when it was like $10. It's like a shitty half Bionic Commando, half beat-em-up sort of thing. Sword is the best power. the best part about using Sword is at this point it just feels like one of the 500 generic NES platformers that existed. Growing up, there was a lot of weird shit I owned. Well, thank you, Bizarre Bootleg Meta Knight. But, there was a lot of crazy shit I owned that, I would have friends that would come over just to play my, like, crazy-ass games. Because, you know, having the I don't think it was exactly a Dendy, but it was basically a Dendy. Hey, if you grew up in Marion, Indiana, and you knew about China Marketplace, you probably know the fucking cheap, shitty Famiclone they sold there. It looked like a real Famicom, but you could unplug the controllers. I want to say it was a Dendy. I don't think it was, because we had real NES controllers for it. So just imagine a Famicom that we plugged real American and Nintendo controllers into. But we didn't just have regular American controllers. My favorite ones were we had a blue one and a red one, but they had a green control pad and buttons, and they had little switches that you could switch on and off auto fire. And then not only did we have that, we had the NES Advantage arcade stick. So I would go back and forth between using the blue controller, because it was my favorite color, and the NES Advantage whenever my dad didn't hide it from me. Which, I'm pretty sure is what started my, my whole thing with, this is my controller. Because my fucking dad did it to me. My friend has one of those. He's got two of them. He's got a blue one and he's got a red one. And it comes with real gun as an accessory. We played like every fucking game that was on that. Like before, everyone and their brother was modding their Wiis. Back when we were in high school, and like our newest consoles were GameCube and PS2 and all that shit. I'm sure the spoiled ass children of today would know nothing about this, but when I was a kid, it was basically, okay, so I've got this and you have that, and we'll collaborate. So, like, I was the Nintendo guy. Well, okay. I had Nintendo and PlayStation because at my mom's house, it was just all Nintendo. But at my dad's house, my dad gave up on Nintendo after the Super Nintendo. And then my dad's house was where it was like, okay, we've got PlayStation, we've got the TurboGrafx, we have like 500 Sega Genesis because they keep fucking breaking. And, we had the goddamn life support 500 cables coming out of the back of the fucking Sega Genesis. I think the craziest console we've ever had come into the house was, so I have all sisters, and as my sisters got older, you know, it was, hey, we're going to have 500 sleepovers, and, you know, Rabbit's going to run and hide because he's the dummy that's going to get kidnapped and, like, makeup painted on and dressed up back before traps were real. So, my dad was, you know, being a cheap ass. My dad liked to go thrift shopping a lot. He liked to go to the Chinese market a lot. Anytime we ever got a game, it was because it was on clearance. Like, I had a legitimate copy of Earthbound because of, like, Target was selling them for, like, $10. But, So as my sisters got older and they basically wanted to steal the consoles for themselves for sleepovers, my sister had like one of those. I'm pretty sure everybody my age had one of these, because my same friend that had that 64 retro console had like fucking 3 of them, but my sister had a tiny CRT that had a VCR built into it. So obviously they're watching all their Barbie movies and Balto. Like, holy shit, we watched Balto like once a day in that house. So my sister had her shitty CRT. So my dad was like, okay, young rabbit, I'm going to give you your own CRT, but I'm going to give you this special one that I found at a thrift store. I would come to find out that the fucking CRT that he got me had a NES built into it. And this thing was fucking awesome because, you know, it was not only was it the first time that like a real American NES came into our house, my dad had just found this thing at the fucking pawn shop, and he paid like $50 for it. And you go online and you look it up, and it's like, this thing was in a Sears catalog for like $800. And it came with special black NES controllers that matched the television. But not only did this thing have the NES built into it, you could unscrew it from the bottom of the television. And so like when the TV eventually died, I had unscrewed the NES and just kept it, and then plugged it into a new television. But I mean, that thing was a honest-to-God legitimate NES. I even plugged... It had the RF cables in it, and we had the original Beast Super Nintendo where you push the button and it fired your cartridge out. And, like, I used the TV for that Super Nintendo, too, so it was kind of an all-in-one. Come to Rabbit's Room, we have Nintendo. Does this game have that? Oh, hey, it does. I'm trying to think for future stream ideas I've got. I definitely for sure want to do a like Rabbit childhood stream where I play all the weird games I had. I want to have the Rabbit stream where I play all the fucking Rabbit games I can find, so like Bucky O'Hare, Jazz Jackrabbit. I have this shitty Tomb Raider ripoff called like Space Bunnies Must Die. I don't think I'm autistic enough for Dwarf Fort. I have tried. I fucking can't. have like one good dwarf fort story where I have punished dwarf. I had a sniper who sorry, I got bad heartburn. I had a sniper who got his fucking arm and leg ripped off. And he was just like, well, this sucks. And he just switched from a bow to a crossbow because he's like, fuck this, I have kobolds to kill. So I changed his name to Punished Dwarf for losing an arm. This power has always baffled me. I like the, I like in the newer Kirby games, you know, you get the little, cape and it makes Kirby look like a superhero, but, no, it's just like, yup, it's a jump. It's a jump and you can hit things. I think my problem is just that I keep rushing shit. Hey, the only Mega Man game I shit the bed at is Mega Man 7. I can steamroll that game until I get to the fucking Wily Castle. Or the Wily Capsule. And then the game just shits in my fucking mouth. Like that fucking Wily Capsule in Mega Man 7 is some grade A fucking horse shit. See, the bizarre thing when it comes to me and video games is, there is the weirdest fucking shit that I'm good at. Like, I can never be good at, like, the things I like. It's always like, wow, here's... Look at Rabbit just casually kick the fucking dog shit out of, the SNES Aladdin in, like, a half hour. Now, granted, I like the SNES Aladdin. But, I don't know. I know this is a shit excuse, but I think it's just I'm getting fucking old. Because I fucking caught myself playing Pokemon Quest for like an hour the other night. See, the fun part about me playing games, though, is I will always pull the most ridiculous clutch bullshit out of nowhere, but then fail at the most basic task. That's what you come here for. Now, okay, the one Kirby game I'm not looking forward to is Amazing Mirror. And, okay, this is fucking cool for an NES game. And I remembered this looked awesome on the 3DS remake. Yeah, just wait. That's the best part about when I stream. There will be some, usually at least once per stream, I will pull off some ridiculous, how the fuck did I do that? Immediately followed by, like, tripping over my own dick. Ah! Just fuck that, I don't want any. Oh, it'd be so cool to fuck. Well, too late now. Live with my mistake. I say live with my mistake when I could have immediately fixed it. If you want to talk about the worst thing I have ever done on stream, I would have to say it was back when I didn't talk. And, back when I didn't talk, and I had only talked, like, to, like, I only specifically talked to my friends. My, like, real-life friends, not... Anyway, but if you go back and look at my Mega Man X2 stream from, like, a couple years ago, there's a part in Overdrive Ostrich's stage where I spend at least a half hour trying to make a jump with the bike. And I just wish I could go back and just erase that. Because I would like to redo the Mega Man X games and not be a fucking dumbass at them. You mean motherfucking Bugsy? I think that's probably my favorite V poster right now. Every goddamn thread he goes, or every Kirby thread, he's always like, motherfucking Bugsy is back. I legitimately forgot that I had fucking backdrop. Because I forgot this was before Kirby just flies out like a crazy asshole and smashes people. Yep. Now, I remember, if doors are a certain color in this game, you still have something to find. Oh, there's a couple of really good V posters. There's, the Raisin guy, every thread, I love Raisin. I had a thing for a while where I would post a picture of Marks in every Kirby thread. My Marks plush, I mean. It always It always depends on whether or not I had a bottle of Pepsi at the time. I have like fucking goddamn 20 pictures of my phone of Marks and a fucking Pepsi. Oh, and the Indiana Jones poster, too. I like him, too. Come on. You dropped your fucking fedora, sir. Oh! Time for me to show how fucking old I am. Oh, God. Ah! God damn it. Ugh. Okay, so I almost made it. I really wish that wasn't that one Kirby manga people actually gave a shit about. I mean, it's not a flavor of the month shonen, so nobody wants to make sure it keeps up on updates. But, I mean, goddammit, you'd think a Kirby manga would, like, get some more attention. Right now, there's just the one asshole translating it, and he holds it hostage on his Twitter. Or not his Twitter, his Tumblr. And not only does he hold it fucking hostage, but he, like, rarely updates it. Like, I think, because he's the kind of cocksucker that he wants it to be his thing. So he's the only one buying and scanning it right now. And I think he's barely got, like, half the first book translated. And from what I read, it's good. It's like there's a comic where Kirby wants to join the circus, so he's, like, fighting Meta Knight for being best circus man. What is it? Kirby, like, eats a school. Like, literally eats a school. There's one about Taranza being, like, the most shameless little fucker. Like, Saturday morning cartoon kind of villain. And he only has, like, bits and pieces of Marks translated, so... But it's like, not only does that comic not have an American release, it's, like, so good for what it is. Oh, double! Oh, shit, that looks good. Like, there's just so much shit in that comic being held hostage. Like, I call Taranza Saturday morning villain, but motherfucking Marks. Oh, okay. Like, the whole thing is that Marks has, well, this looks cool. But, like, Marks has a copy of the manga they're in. And so Marks' whole thing is that he's running around and he's got a... he's basically, like, cheating and looking ahead. And Kirby is basically a Rayleigh, if you've ever read Dr. Slump. Which I think is the best way to make Kirby talk. Oh man, nobody tell the fucking faggots who scream about Rayman arms about these two. I think they might have a coronary. I love that complaint so much. People hate... Like, they say it started with the... I want to say his name is Kuzumaki. He did Return to Dreamland. Where it started with Magalore. So you have Magalore, Susie, Taranza. Now you have the Generals and Shard Allies. And the whole thing is they have floating hands. So you have the people who complain about, oh, fucking Rayman limbs. And you know what? Why don't we take a good goddamn look at the game we're playing right now? It's like, hey, when everybody was like chubby little balls, that was fine. But oh man, then they got floating hands, and that's too far. Son of a bitch, I just missed a UFO again. Twice. I didn't even fucking want UFO. I think it sucks. I think it's gay. I think you're gay. Fuck you. Yeah, UFO isn't that cool. Well, it kind of sucks, but it's cool. You can go pew-pew. You know what game I want to go back and stream? Well, not go back. I never streamed it to begin with, but, I only thought about this because I fucking put it on my pie this morning. But, fucking... talking about going back to my childhood games. I want to stream 3D Body Adventure. That game... when my stepdad, got our first computer, it was a Packard Bell. And it came with this, like, set of discs. And, you know what? Time out. I want to look it up. Yep, this one, right fucking here. Nope, not that. The image. Let me have the image. Okay, so right here. This one. Whatever game we had, or whatever PC he had, it launched with that. But I had, you know, I've always been into, like, that's why I'm a med student. I've always loved the human body. You know, the episodes of Magic School Bus where they would shrink down and go inside people. That was my fucking shit. So, when my dad got his computer, and he was like, hey, look, Rabbit, there's a human body game here. And I was like, okay, cool. And, so I would play it. And what I didn't know is that it was absolutely goddamn horrifying. So you have these, at the time, realistic graphics, because when... Like, this was before work laptops were a thing. It was like, hey, here's a whole fucking computer. And, so, like, it was this gigantic, bulky thing, and I remember that, I think the only stipulation was, hey, if you get fired, give it back. Which, obviously fucking not, because it's still in my parents' basement. But, yeah, so my dad had this Packard Bell, and he bought his own fucking hard drive for it. And I remember when he bought it, because it was a 512 megabyte hard drive, and he was like, holy shit, family, we're never gonna need another hard drive again. And I would like to repeat that, 512 megabytes. And, yeah, so it came with this human body game, and I would play it. And, you know, he bought a Sound Blaster card, he bought a, he had bought a new video card for it, so we could play all the latest, greatest DOS games. And my stepdad will never admit it, but he's a huge tech junkie. And, he had a actual stereo surround system. The same one he had in his college dorm. He still has it to this day. It's still hooked up downstairs in the basement of my parents' house. And let me tell you about how, like, backwards compatible this fucking thing is. Before I moved out of my parents' house, I had my PS3 hooked up to this thing. So I could have surround sound from my PS3. So I took, like, I had my, I had the HDMI plugged into my PS3, and then I had the yellow, white, red cables plugged into this surround system. And it was just bomb as hell. But anyways, so he had the... Damn it. And this is why pressing up to float is a fucking problem. But, no, so the long and short that you need to know is that my dad had a fucking speaker system hooked up to the Packard Bell. And it was so he could play Doom so fucking loud when you fired the super shotgun, it shook the walls of the house. But, no, so you'll understand if and when I ever stream it, but, you know, back when Doom was king, and everybody wanted their own Doom game, even this fucking 3D body game had a fucking Doom section. And it was some goddamn horse shit where it was some goddamn horse shit where it was like, oh, this little boy got bit by a dog, so we're gonna shrink you down and put him up his asshole, and you're gonna play Doom. But, so they actually took fucking real pictures of, like, the human body and used them as the textures for the walls. And God fucking help you if you shot the wrong thing, because it would make this horrifying zap noise. And then you would have this same canned voice clip of, "Doctor, you're not supposed to do that!" And it's like, imagine little 6, 7-year-old me playing that and like, "Oh, aha, doom in the body, cool." And then, zap! No, don't do that! That fucking game terrified me. Nope, I lost. I fucked up. I've made a mistake. The ghosts of my past mistakes have come to haunt me. You know what? Fuck it. I have the disc laying around. Because there was a... okay, remember when Walmart used to sell computer games? I think they still do. I don't know. I haven't been in a Walmart. But I remember Walmart used to sell computer games, and they would sell them fucking cheap. Like, I bought the Age of Empires collection from there. I bought a Diner Dash collection that was actually just a disc full of malware from there. And, they had sold a copy of, they'd sold a copy of 3D Body Adventure there, too. And it was like a new, updated Windows 97 version. So, I'm gonna see, when we get done with Kirby, fuck it, let's see if it works. It may just be a disc with fucking DOSBox on it. Who knows? But, like, it's one of those things where, I don't know if it was just a thing with DOS or what. But it's one of those things where, like, okay, you know, the power of your computer is, like, everything is tied to the power of your computer. Why did I do this? Oh, that's why I did this. Oh, that's good. That's good. Was there even a fucking exit at the end of this hallway, or was I retarded and missed it? No, I am in here for no reason. But yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, you know, the power of your PC tied to the power of the game itself. And there's multiple things to do in this goddamn game. There's a, like I said, there's the Doom shit inside of people's bodies. There's the, you can just say fuck it and explore the hospital. And when you explore the hospital, there's like, oh man, there's like different rooms dedicated to all the areas of the parts of the body. And, you know, hey, it's 3D Body Adventure. They gotta emphasize the 3D. Look at these 3D graphics. And, so, like, let's say you walk into the room about the circulatory system. You know, here's a picture of the heart. Here's a picture of your blood. Here's a picture of a blood vessel. Here's a giant floating heart in the center of the room. And it rotates, and depending on, I want to say, something to do with clock speed. Does that sound right? You know, depending on the speed of your graphics, the heart spins faster and faster. And considering, like, how balls into this computer my dad went so that he could have the absolute best, you know, Doom experience of all time, what happened was little 6 or 7-year-old rabbit walked into a room where there is a goddamn heart spinning like it's in a fucking tornado at like 1,000,000,000 miles an hour. Which is just inherently terrifying. Not to mention, I want to say this is a kid's educational game. And some of the shit that was in that game is just outright horrifying. If I can't get it to run, I will look for the video itself. But, there was a video of a heart attack. Just look up 3D Body Adventure heart attack, where it's like, here's a heart slowly clogging, pumping faster, struggling to pump, and then the sound of a man screaming in agony, and you're just like, kids game, kids game. Hey, as a little fucking, as a bonus to my friends, I'm just gonna link it right to them in the middle of this fucking stream. Because I am professional. Okay. So you know what I did today that was really pointless and has like no basis for any reason, and it was probably honestly more of a waste of my time than it was going to be actually like used? I just went online today and I just got all of the Atari 2600 games. Just all of them. And I put them on my Pi. And I went back and played a couple of them that I know my stepdad had. Because we had an Atari and a Commodore at my dad's house, or at my mom's house. And, you know, I think a lot of the Atari 2600 games are overshadowed by the NES for good goddamn reason. But that does not change the fact that there was an old AVGN video, I think it was about the 7800, where, you know, he was showing off an Atari, and it's like, when you think of a video game, you think of this. And let me tell you, the fucking Atari had some goddamn video game-ass video games. I immediately scrolled down the list and played the Fantastic Voyage game first, because I am a homo. And, man, you can't tell what the fuck is going on, but it's just another space shooter. Yeah. Yeah, you think I talked like shit on Discord, like, listening to me talk for real. I say some dumbass shit. I was talking to my black father at work last night, and, oh god, what was it? I said something about, like, oh, don't let me blow my own dick here, but, and he fucking lost his shit laughing. It's like, I'm gonna use that one. I want to use the excuse, you know, oh, it's Kirby. I can just be casual and play this like an asshole. But am I really allowed to say that when I've been dying like a fucking mongoloid over and over again? Don't you start, Hunter! I see you! Ah! Fuck you! I may do it just for you. So I have to admit, this controller dongus, adapter, whatever you want to call it, it's not bad. I mean, granted, if you saw how my computer room was set up, you would be like, what the fuck? Like, it's just it's just kind of like a, what the? And none of my other friends have a setup like this, and every time friends come over, they're like, dude, what is up with your fucking... Okay, so basically I have my gaming TV over to the side, and in order for my computer to sit comfortably, like, there are some games that I want to play, so I've got my desk off to the side over here, and I have my, you know, gaming TV and my couch off to the side over there. And there are some games, like, you know, big AAA releases, like, basically anything that requires a mouse and keyboard, I have a desk to go sit down at with my nice fancy 1080p, 240 whatever refresh rate, blah 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 blah, numbers, things Rabbit doesn't understand. So I have my nice fancy HD computer monitor sitting over here, which is actually where I'm sitting right now, because I get to sit in my comfy gamer chair. So I have, like, a desk set up with a keyboard and mouse, and then I have the big-ass motherfucking TV, which I call my big-ass motherfucking TV. In case you doubt me. Alright, how do I... No shame. None. I have a, I have my PC friend who, whenever he can, and I don't mean, like, politically correct, I just mean all he does is PC, and he's also my tech guy. My PC friend hates working on my computer because I have everything such fucking dumb-ass names. Like, what was it? One time he was over here helping me set up a network between my computer and my laptop. And I was like, oh, it's in my games folder. So he kept trying to manually type in games, and he wasn't finding a folder. And he was like, Rabbit, where the fuck is your game folder? And I'm like, oh, hang on, let me show you. And I had literally typed it like, Games, G-A-E-M-E-Z. And he's like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, fuck you. Oh my god, not having the power to fight this guy with is some fucking dicks. Are you shitting me? There, fuck you. Wait, that's not fun. That's death. Dude, I hate Brat posting. I don't know if it's just because it's the one fucking ass... I don't know if this guy thinks he's funny. I don't know if it's just, everybody wants to fit in. I don't know if it's, like, this one autistic faggot literally upset people like asses. But I cannot fucking stand when somebody posts a butt and you just have, like, 500 responses of, like, various SpongeBob sniffing images shitting up the threads. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, people can post fucking asses and it not being some dumbass, brap. Asses belong anywhere they please. You cannot tame the ass. There's jiggly butts in Senran and Kagura. Asses are video games. Which, by the way, Sync, if you don't own it yet, Peach Beach Splash dropped down to like $30 on Amazon. I bought it the other day when I saw that. I got the no shirt, or what is it? No shirt, all service edition for like $30. Gotta be a cheap gamer and know where to get the good shit. Whoop, whoop. My favorite part of Peach Beach Splash is it has my two favorite girls in it. I hope it comes with Neptune and Marie. Otherwise, I will gladly buy Neptune. I swear to God, Nightmare in Dreamland did not have this many fights against the Meta Knights. I think there's another hidden... Blap. Not worth it. I actually, back when I had my office job, they did a thing where you essentially got good boy points. And, we always had quotas to maintain because we were data entry desk monkeys. But, so like if we maintained a certain, you know, keys per minute and, documents per hour, we would get our fucking good boy points. And we could exchange our good boy points for, like, Amazon gift cards and shit. And, in my 4 or 5 years of working there, I only ever got enough good boy points to get, like, a... that makes me sound terrible. I should say that you have to at least break a minimum amount. And I had gotten a, like, $200 Amazon gift card. I'd gotten, like, a $200 Amazon gift card that I bought, I want to say it was the last round edition of Dead or Alive 5. It was the one that came with a shitload of costumes, but, like, right before the fucking Senran Kagero ones. And, what was it? I think I still have the notebook somewhere of, which one of Marie's costumes had such and such, and then which panties were on which, like, extra, like, what was it, like, I think it was, her black stripes were on, like, B or something like that. Like, I literally made a note. But, yeah, I learned to main Marie just because she looks exactly like a blonde version of one of my exes. Well, that's not creepy, I promise. But, man, that fucking ex, it was, like 17, 18, around the time I started regularly having sex. And this girl was like a fucking horn dog, and I can just remember, it was so much, it made me uncomfortable, and that was why I dumped her. Feel free to, like, point out your Jesus Christ rabbit, what is wrong with you? Looking back, it's like, yeah, what is wrong with me? But I had, like, a legitimate, ew, girls. No, no. I have to... Yeah! Oh, how can I make this as shitty as possible? Oh man. Oh, Oh, God. Oh, Jesus, that's so big. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! Did I do it shitty enough? I made sure to get Comic Sans. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to get anything right. That's right. Chirp. He sounds more like a squeaky toy than a burp. I don't know if you can hear it. I can confirm that burping does not inhibit my ability to play Mega Man. Last time I hung out with my friends, we wanted to play Mega Man 10, and my friend never knew about the DLC based on the Game Boy Mega Man games. But in Legacy Collection, in order to get them, you have to beat Mega Man 10 first. And the same thing goes with Mega Man 9. You have to beat Mega Man 9 to unlock Proto Man. So in Mega Man 10, you gotta beat Mega Man 10 to unlock not only base, but the, like, DLC shit as well. So I've been, basically I fucking beat Mega Man 10 this morning. That's the gist of this story, but I did it while juggling a bird. There was even a fun moment where, he was perched on my controller. And then he pooped on my nice Xenoblade controller, and he went back to the cage. And I have to say, having quite literally beaten the Mega Man games with the D-pad, this alleged D-pad on the Switch that sucks, I do not understand. And I have a launch Switch with a launch Pro controller. And my launch Switch exploded. I had to have it repaired. Caddy, please. But, yeah, my launch Switch exploded. I can talk all about how my launch Switch exploded. But, you know, I played Shovel Knight and beat the shit out of all 3 stories with the Pro controller, and I have to say, I genuinely do not understand why people are like, no, the fucking D-pad. I don't know if I got lucky, or what. And I've even sat down and, like, held my Xenoblade 1 and my, Launch 1 side by side, and it's like, oh, I don't understand. No, I know the Xenoblade 1 has a better D-pad. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like, yes, it doesn't feel as stiff. I don't know if it's just because I grew up playing with shitty controllers, and I just don't have a feel for stank. I mean, I literally mentioned at the start of the stream, I'm playing this with the fucking Hyperkin GameCube Wii U controller. But I also like Hyperkin. I don't understand why everybody hates them. I have their retro, like SNES-shaped Xbox controller that I use on my Pi that somebody finally made drivers for. Yeah, here's the thing that kills me. It, like, piggybacks the Xbox One drivers on your PC, but then it also has its own installation. So for the longest time, people who wanted to use it on their Raspberry Pi, like I did, because I'm not buying 8-bit dough pieces of shit ever again, I couldn't fucking believe it. God damn it. Why would you do this? Because my fucking, Okay, it needs to be said, I own a lot of controllers because I will buy controllers just for the fucking gimmick of it, and I'm probably going to buy that stupid fucking Pokeball controller for Let's Go Eevee. But, when I play video games, I like to have fun with it. And one of the things I did was, you know, that really awesome Sega collection on Steam, I have a 6-button Hyperkin USB Sega controller that I use exclusively for that. And when I streamed the Wily Wars, I even made sure to go dig it out. In fact, it's safe to say that anytime you see me streaming a Sega game, I am probably using that controller. And I got it for $5. 5 of your American Earth dollars on Amazon. And that is the only Hyperkin controller I would consider bad, because the buttons pop like a motherfucker. Later, nigga. Oh. Are you fucking kidding me? Even when he sat there like an asshole, I did that. Alright, get ready for Rabbit to fight Bonkers for fucking 20 minutes again. God damn it. Nope. Oh. What? Can I, like, aim it? Okay. Man, having a full team of these guys and shard allies is the best. My friends and I did a playthrough where all four of us played as these cleaning guys, and we were just like, wow, it was a fucking super Mexican squad. And yes, I call it shard allies because I'm 5 years old. You know, one of my favorite game programming stories comes from this game. You know, you have all the stories of, like, you know, Satoru Iwata and, like, oh, he used a pack of gum and some cigarettes to compress gold and silver, and it was cool. But then you have shit like this game, where, Sakurai programmed the entire game using an NES dev kit and a trackball mouse. And his explanation for it was, well, I just thought making video games was hard. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is hard, so it's supposed to be. Later, nerds. There's just something so charmingly innocent about that story. Ugh. I wondered if Needle was in this game. Like, I figured it was. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Oh my god, please don't tell me I'm gonna get in a fucking loop with this thing. Fuck you! Now I'm the exploder! Eat shit! Motherfucker. I don't even care. See, look, I got 1-ups anyway from this. Aurora Borealis. Man, remember when the Kirby anime made those stupid fucking mushroom things, the townspeople? It's like, it's not like you don't have a fucking, like, diverse cast of Vorbs to throw around. Man, I remember when they fucking changed the hat for Bomb. Because it used to just be a recolor of the Link hat. But they changed the hat of Bomb to like this pointy thing. And I remembered sitting there like, what is this retarded princess shit? And somebody had to point it out to me that it was supposed to be a fucking, one of those firework poppers. And I was just like, oh, god damn it, I can't believe I didn't rethink of that. Just fucking eat him. That's what I do on the Meta Knight fights. It's the easiest way to do this shit. I remember reading one time that somebody made an emulator run at like warp speed and basically ran this game for like 400 years or something like that, and it still was like, no, get the sword. Man, I remember in Nightmare in Dreamland, I worked so hard to unlock the Meta Knight mode. And I remember I must have fucking beaten the Meta Knight mode probably 10 times. And I was like, oh, Meta Knight's so cool. I wish he was in Smash Bros. And he sucks. Like, allegedly, he's this super busted character, but he's just not fun to play as. At least not for me, anyway. Haha. Aw, he's cute. But I remember when Brawl came out, I tried so hard to like Meta Knight, and I just couldn't. He just... I played Pit all day, every day. And then after I modded my Wii, I remember I fucking put in the mod that exchanged Donkey Kong for Cloud, because none of my friends played Donkey Kong, so we didn't give a shit. But, what is it? The only thing Meta Knight is to me in Smash is a fun story of an anime convention where, there was a Smash tournament, because of course the anime convention has Smash tournaments, and, this fucking little butthurt autistic guy. They were reading off the rules, and it's like, okay, no Meta Knight, and this fucking dude, in the most obnoxious, stereotypical neckbeard voice you can imagine, was just like, may I ask why? If it tells you anything about how long ago this was, that was the same year that Skullgirls came out. And I remember Skullgirls just being like this real... At least in my circle of friends, Skullgirls was this real quiet thing. Nobody wanted to play. I was the only one who wanted to play it. I even very specifically remember an argument from one of my friends saying like, oh, it looks too good. It shouldn't have that good of animation, which... just don't think about that too hard. But yeah, Skullgirls had just come out. To me, it was the coolest shit. I had spent my, at the time, pathetic paycheck on it. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get real good at this. And I did. And my team was Misfortune, Valentine, and Philia, before I just started saying screw it and only doing a two-person team of now I just do two-person team of Misfortune and Fukua. But no, long story short, fucking Skullgirls was the coolest thing to me, and they had one PS3 running it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll play Skullgirls. And everybody would just, like, crowd around me and be like, what is this? Is this anime? Is this fucking anime? Is this an anime game in an anime tournament? Or an anime convention? This isn't anime. This isn't BlazBlue. But what ended up happening was, I had convinced people to play with me. And they were going to have a Skullgirls tournament, but only me and one other guy signed up for it. And, this was back when I was still young and sexy and not, you know, fueled by autism. And, basically, because I was the only person who knew how to play it, and that was back before they had patched out, Misfortune's super bullshit kick. Because her heavy kick used to be like super fuck you broken. And I had basically just lined up a table of people, just everybody's fucking getting some. Line up for your ass whooping. And I had somehow, by kicking everyone's ass, I had convinced more people to sign up for this tournament. And, you know, the tournament went on. I continued to smoke people throughout the tournament. And then it got to me and the one other guy. And, he pushed me back in the corner like a little bitch and kept spamming, doubles move where she, like, throws the car full of cartoons at you. And his little argument was, oh, I had to be cheap because I knew you were good and I wouldn't win any other way. And to this day, my friends and I still call him Blue Tits. Because he wore a blue t-shirt with his big old bitch titties just hanging out. Man, that was a more fun story in my head. I'm sorry. Come on, I don't want to fight everyone. This is only fun in Mega Man. Well, sure, now when I decide to take power. I am so glad we're getting to the end. I'm just getting to that point, right? Oh, people are gonna hate me when I get to Superstar. Because if you think for even a second I am going to play Superstar 100%. Because I'm going to play Superstar the same way I did on my 3DS just a couple weeks ago. I am just going to bum rush it. I think I cleared Great Cave Offensive with like 10 treasures. I think I collected like 4 powers in Milky Way. I was a little bitch. I feel like Ball would be a really good power if I wasn't, like, clinically retarded. You know what games I'd like to stream too? The Bonk games. It's like, of course Rabbit knows what fucking bonk is. I had a TurboGrafx. My TurboGrafx came with fucking Zonk, or whatever the fucking shoot-'em-up future one was. Did I, like, time that perfectly or what? And then I lost it anyway. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Wait, what? His wheels don't give you wheel? Are you telling me we can't do, like, epic wheel clashes? Okay, let me not lose Crash like an asshole. Ah! I don't understand games that do nostalgia levels after one game. Because Star Tropics did that too. The final level of Star Tropics 2 was the first level of Star Tropics 1. I would legitimately sell my firstborn child for Star Tropics something at E3. Like, for God's sake. Remake it, remaster it, just let some indie bastard fucking get his greasy little soy-covered hands on it. Something. Like, I can't believe Nintendo had such a bomb-ass first-party... Because if nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm saying Star Tropics, it's that, So basically, during the 80s, America had this, like, ridiculous Zelda craze. They could not get enough Zelda. Like, the original Zelda was the fucking shit. Everybody wanted more, but Nintendo didn't have more. And then, Nintendo was like, fuck it. America wants more Zelda, let's give them more Zelda. So, they made a Zelda clone. They cloned their own game. It's a Zelda game, but it's not. You play as an American teenager with a yo-yo, and... like, there's aliens and monsters, and you explore dark caves, and it's like, oh, he plays sports, so all your power-ups are sports. So it's like you get soccer cleats that let you kick off people's head like Mario style. You get fucking baseball bats you can crack skulls open. And then the final boss is a dude, and he's a bad man, and he's an alien, and he's also evil. It's great. Big boy. But yeah, fucking Star Tropics was awesome. Play it. It's hard as dicks, but go play it. Oh, god damn it. No. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. God damn it. Can you tell I am losing my patience? Where's fucking Lazar? Was it you? Are you Lazar? Who had a Lazar sword? Yeah, let me beat DDD with fucking high jump. This is a good time. Oh my god, are you kidding me? You wanna know one thing this game did that pisses me off that's not even its fault? I think the video has long since been taken down, but there was an old JonTron video where he talked about his favorite hub worlds in video games. And, he specifically cited Kirby's Adventure as one of the best, and it's like, are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me for real now? But, he talked about how he felt, dude, just fucking kill me. Whoops, sorry for wasting everybody's fucking time getting that power I immediately lost. Jesus fucking Christ. God, that is so fucking annoying. It like gives you a second to suck up the star, and it's like as soon as you suck up the star, he sucks up you. I wonder. Well, one, I'm already angry for backtracking that far when there was a laser right there. Fuck off, we're full. And so, this was the beginning of Kirby getting an anime as hell power at the end of every game. Also a severely underrated Kirby villain who gets no real... Like, sure, he was the fucking villain of the anime, and he got an assist trophy in Smash. That's it. No love for Nightmare. Oh, are you shitting me? I have actually never had that happen before. Alright, time for my favorite fucking song in this whole game. That fucking fuck face when you hit him is great. I swear I've read somewhere that in order to make this fight feel like more anime and climactic, you would never be able to know unless you looked into the code, but it's something ridiculous, like the Star Rod does hundreds of damage. Remember, at the time with computers, the Star Rod does like literally hundreds of damage, while Nightmare has thousands of health. What are you doing, Kirby? Kirby, my son! Achievement, get out of the way! Yeah, I don't know that if this is a plot point of Kirby that still maintains to this day, but originally Dreamland was literally Dreamland, and Kirby was like a dream defender, because it's based off of some, like, Kirby's design. They say it was, you know, oh, it was a circle that everybody fell in love with, but they later, like, turned around on it and was like, oh, by the way, there's this Japanese yokai that's a dream eater that kind of looks like Kirby. Isn't it funny that a dream eater defends the dreams? But, yeah, I think that plot point is long gone. But, once upon a time, Kirby was literally Dreamland. And it... Oh yeah, mashed potato samurai. Oh, look at that cute little bye-bye. Ah! Well, that was 2 in one stream. I really think I knocked this one out of the park. Come on back next time. I'll do Dreamland 2.